This weekend, it's back to Premier League talk as Liverpool will be taking on Leeds. And just a reminder, after those 3 losses in a row for Liverpool, they did have that win on Sunday against West Ham United. Then it was back to a draw on Wednesday against Sunderland. So ahead of Leeds, let's get word from Arne Slot.
Arne, what steps do you feel you've taken in the past week with 4 points from a couple of games just to start turning things around?
No, the first thing you said in your question, 4 points out of 2 games, is different than the last 2 home games we've played, which we've both lost and conceded 7 goals. And in the last 2 games, we were 1 deflection away from keeping 2 clean sheets. I said against West Ham, the good thing for us was that they didn't score their one and only chance, and the same thing happened again in this game. They did not score the only chance they had, and you're looking at me, but they did score, yeah, but that for me was not a chance. The only chance they had was after 93 minutes when they went 1-on-1 to the goalkeeper. So that's a step forward if you compare that to 7 goals conceded in 2 games. We did not concede a set piece in both games, which is also important. As a result of that, maybe we got 2 results. And I think there are also positives to take from the players we've brought in during the summer, that I see they are getting more and more consistent in their performances. Florian is maybe the most obvious one, but I see the same with Milos Kerkez as well. Alex scored his first goal a game ago. So yeah, there are positives to take, but of course still not where we want to be. Let that be obvious and clear.
What do you make of what he had to say
Sounds
there?
like they're having a great season.
Now, the thing is, he's even getting sarcastic at the point, you know, but the last chance that Sunderland had, had Liverpool lost that game, I think he could have been fired, you know, because people are starting to be fed up with him, you know, trying to find excuses about the results that they have. I mean, we can't recognize Liverpool from last season, and this is part of because of his responsibility of not being able to put the best team, to find the chemistry between the new players and the former player. But he can't talk like that. I mean, we don't listen to him anymore because he's not saying the truth, and what we obviously all see.
Did it read to you what he had to say there?
Well, they've just played one of the weakest teams going forward in the league in West Ham, who don't create a lot of chances, and they won. And they played a side in Sunderland who've promoted from the Championship, having a great season, but particularly away from home. They did it at Chelsea. They got a great result at Chelsea, but they sit in and they defend deep and they hit you on the break. And that's what Sunderland did, and that's why Sunderland did not create many chances against Liverpool, not because Liverpool were great defensively. What he forgot to mention, that his skipper again made more mistakes. His skipper gave the ball away, his skipper turned his back, his skipper Van Dijk never closed the ball down. That was the goal, off the deflection off his hip. They play Leeds this weekend at Ellen Road. Leeds, who could have came back from 2-0 down, didn't against Man City, but could have in the second half. Leeds, who've just beaten Chelsea at home. And Leeds, who, I know we threw a stat out in midweek, Mark Ogden's fault, it was wrong, right? Augie.
That's why we avoid stats.
But it was something like they'd only lost once at home in 18 months, but I think it was a couple of times, but part of that's in the Championship. But they've got their ginger up, Leeds. They're feeling a bit more confident about themselves. Daniel Farke got his players playing. If Liverpool were to be on the wrong end of another result here at Ellen Road against another promoted team, he's just going to face more questions. And would I be super confident that Liverpool are going to go to Ellen Road and win? No. Because they haven't defended particularly well recently, even if the results have been slightly better.
And Leeds obviously needing points themselves, as you can see where they're sitting as it stands right now, just outside of the relegation zone on 14 points in 17th place right now. So that's one of the games that's coming up this weekend in the Premier League. What's your prediction on it, Craig?
Do you know what? Great atmosphere, Ellen Road, feeling good about themselves. Liverpool not. I'm going to go for a draw. 2-2.
Frank?
I want to go for a draw as well. And because of the position Leeds is right now, I'm saying that you can't win against Chelsea and also win against Liverpool. You have to have weaknesses and drop some points. So yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1, 1-0 for me. Yeah.
They lost a goal, Leeds, at the Etihad after a minute, 59 seconds. And then they lost another one. But they still had enough about them, enough character, enough skill, enough desire to come out the second half and take the game to Manchester City at the Etihad and then beat Chelsea. So they are not going to be a team that's just going to roll over for Liverpool and say, hey, get your season going, start here at Ellen Road.
Yeah, that's the last of the games on Saturday. The first of them is Aston Villa taking on Arsenal, and you can see that is first against third in the table right now. It's Aston Villa playing host in this game. This is going to be an interesting one, Craig, an interesting one to pick apart, really, given the fact that it is Villa against Arsenal right now, two Spanish managers.
I mean, think about it after Villa's start to the season, which was very slow, and you wondered, well, have they run out of steam a little bit, Unai Emery's players, with all that high-octane intensity that he likes his players to play with? But it turns out it was just a slow start to the season. They go 3 points behind with a win.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden they're thinking, hey, we could be hanging in there in this. But I don't know. Is it 8 wins in the trot or something like that? Morgan Rogers playing great. Ollie Watkins getting some goals again. Arsenal have some injuries, particularly at the back, but they're a strong side, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm edging towards Arsenal eking out a narrow win here, rolling the sleeves up. If you're going to win the title, these are the type of games. Got a couple of players out, go to Villa Park, the early kick-off, roll the sleeves up and just eke out some sort of close win. And that's how I see it from an Arsenal perspective.
My concern is what I saw from Arsenal against Chelsea. 11 against 10, not capable of finishing the job, and Chelsea still being a threat. 10 against 11, Neto could have scored a goal, and Aston Villa is doing great. And because I really want a race. I don't want to make it too easy for Arsenal. So when I said Chelsea would win against Arsenal, I think Aston Villa can win against Arsenal, and did a very good run right now. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 for Aston Villa.
Okay, that will make things interesting. That's two of the games coming up in the Premier League this weekend. There are, of course, plenty more. This is what you've got to look forward to, including Manchester City taking on Sunderland on Saturday. And it all wraps up on Monday with Wolves against Manchester United. Meanwhile, in La Liga, it's Barcelona sitting top of the table after 15 rounds, a point ahead of Real Madrid. And next up for them are a team that can definitely cause a few problems to the big sides in Real Betis. That's who they'll be facing this weekend. Obviously, this game will be available on ESPN Plus as always. You were saying yourself, Frank, before we even got underway with this, that Betis are a little bit of a force to be reckoned with right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Barcelona. And Real Betis lost 1 game at home out of 10. And I think it's possible for them. I mean, they will have to be clever. I mean, when you see Barcelona playing, you just have to be clever. You have to attract them to make sure you have the space in behind. Well, like they play a high line, we all know that. And maybe playing counter-attack, even if you play at home. So that's the thing that's going to be hard for Real Betis, is understanding the weakness of that team, Barcelona, playing the high line, and accepting to wait for them. But if you do so, I think Real Betis can win against Barcelona.
It's almost like Barcelona, their struggles, it seems, come against teams that are further down the league and that you're expecting them to sort of roll over. Mm-hmm. The teams that were supposed to give them a game, like Atletico Madrid, really did not.
True.
Recently at the Camp Nou. Athletic Club didn't really give them a game, if we've been honest. Didn't give Real Madrid a game the other night as well, so at least they're consistent. And Real Betis are in good form, so you're thinking Real Betis, well, they might try and possess the ball a bit more, might try and go at this Barcelona team a bit more, and maybe that just leaves these teams higher up the league a little bit more open to be exposed by, Dani Olmo, who I know is injured at the moment, but Lamine Yamal and Rafinha's back. So they're a threat going forward again. Whereas maybe Barca have been a little lax against the smaller teams and have been exposed with that ball in behind time and time and time again. We saw it against Sevilla, we've seen it against a lot of teams. But they've had a couple of good results recently. You know, Deportivo Alaves at home and Atletico Madrid at home. So I get to me, although Barcelona, I think they got hammered by Chelsea. They're not over the defensive issues, but I think they got a little bit too much for Pellegrini's side.
It's why Real Betis have to be patient and clever and really accept to leave the dominance of the game to Barcelona. Because we can see that against smaller team, Barcelona struggle because they get confident, they go high on the field, and they get surprised by balls behind the space.
Atletico Madrid score early in the game against Barcelona, who have got a back two of Cubarsí and Gerard Martin at centre half. They play the ball in behind easily to Alex Bueno. He scores, and then they stop doing it. Yeah. Then they stop playing that ball. I mean, it's just bonkers. Because every other team has been just clipping it in behind. Celta Vigo, the whole first half in the game in Vigo, they were getting in behind. And Atletico Madrid, a team that you would have thought is built to be in the title race, got a lot of joy early on with that ball and then stopped. It just doesn't make any sense. And if teams can figure out, which some have, how to play that offside line better with deeper runs from midfield, that's where it has caused them problems. It's given Hansi Flick palpitations at times this season. The upside for him, he's got this sort of great attacking line that can sort of bail them out when things go wrong.
But Pellegrini is clever. He has experience. Yeah. So I guess he saw that. So what he's going to do with these players, we'll see.
Yeah, and Betis games against Barcelona, always worth a watch. You can do that this weekend on ESPN+. That's the earlier game in La Liga. Later on in the day, it's Athletic Club taking on Atletico Madrid. Yes, it is. Inter Miami taking on Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS Cup. And these are the odds heading into this game coming up on Saturday. Miami favourites in this game. A chance to see Lionel Messi and the boys. Can they win it, though? Can they do something he's never done and win MLS Cup?
Wow. I don't know. Well, I guess he's going to win everything, that guy. And with all the players that he has in his service, because they work for him, I think, yes, he can do it. And but I don't know the Whitecaps enough to say that they're not good enough to win it. So I have to respect that. So let's see how it works.
What do you think, Craig? You know, something that's been brought up is the fact that obviously Thomas Muller's with Vancouver Whitecaps, and there's all these stats about him winning 7 of his 10 overall meetings with Lionel Messi in whatever team it may be, but including the 2014 World Cup, Germany taking on Argentina. True. Muller came out on top in that one. Do these stats account for anything?
No. Inter Miami's Barcelona B, isn't it? It's Jordi Alba, it's Luis Suarez, it's Lionel Messi and some other good players, to be fair. And obviously Thomas Muller's had an absolutely stellar career. But you get the feeling, and somebody said this on the show the other day, Major League Soccer, they shouldn't really, but they really want this to happen, don't they? And they want it to happen in the proper way, but they want Inter Miami to be the champions. They want Messi to be the story. They want Messi to drive the subscription and the interest, and I get the feeling that's what Major League Soccer are going to get. And somewhere in his trophy cabinet of list, Major League Soccer, what do you call it? Champions, whatever it is.
Right.
What do you call it?
MLS Cup.
MLS Cup. That's the MLS Cup.
It's going to be on the right side over there.
It won't be front and centre in front of the World Cup and this La Liga and Champions League titles.
That's an achievement.
Is that what you're saying?
You're saying that.
Maybe he's going to have to make room for it anyway, isn't he? He's got plenty. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig and Frank are here to answer your questions. OK, Craig, are you having deja vu? Asked Steve Nicholls' personal assistant, obviously referring to today's World Cup draw.
Well, obviously, if Norway were in pot 3, which was the same pot as Scotland, otherwise it could have been potentially the same group as 1998. It's close. I mean, to get if you have not been to a World Cup for 28 years, as Scotland have not since '98 in France, and you get 2 of the same teams in Brazil and Morocco, that's quite something.
You know the sad news? It's nice to see Scotland coming back to the World Cup. But the problem is, Craig, last game in the World Cup, he got suspended, he got red carded against Morocco.
Yeah, but I've served that, Frank.
No, you
I
didn't.
served it many years ago.
Many years ago.
No, not for the World Cup. So it's still going to
He's
be.
still-
It's still suspended.
No, it's all changed since Cristiano Ronaldo got.
Ah, that's
red carded in
true.
the
That's true. They
qualifiers.
make special
Fine,
rules.
he's available.
Yeah,
if
but he's not
called upon
Ronaldo.
by
He's
his mate
Craig Burley.
Clarkey.
I'm actually worried about Haiti.
No,
Because
come on.
No, I know, but that's the kind of banana skin that Scotland usually.
If Scotland, and with all due respect to Haiti, not prime, but if Scotland loses again against Haiti, why they are in the World Cup? Really? So you're going to get the 3 points, and you might be qualified with the 3 points. This is the first game.
The Tartan Army are going to have fun, though, aren't they?
Yeah, and most of the games are in the. Well, all the games I believe are in the East Coast, which obviously is for European countries is much better to be in the East Coast. I believe in no particular order.
It's in Miami. It's not good.
Well, no, the Brazil game I believe is in Miami. That's the final game. There's a game in Foxborough in Boston, Massachusetts, and a game in New Jersey in East Rutherford at MetLife. So watch out, New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, look out Miami, though. Scots in Miami. That's going to be fun.
They won't go. They won't attend.
Craig, is there any hope for Scotland after getting Brazil and Morocco?
I just said that
Yeah,
he's
that's the next
afraid
question.
that Haiti is.
Look, let me give you a reality check. Scotland have had some good teams over the years, right? I'm not particularly talking about the team I played in, but you've had players like Kenny Dalglish, and the list goes on, Graham Souness.
Yeah.
There's a list of superstars. As a country, Scotland have never been out at the group stage of any major competition, the European Championships or the World Cup, and it's baffling. It really is baffling, and I can see that trend continuing, unfortunately.
Yeah, the thing is, it's possible, but if they finish third, they will have they would have gotten an advantage comparing to the previous national team went to the World Cup, because you finished third in 1998, you don't go through. There, with even Brazil and Morocco, if they finish third, they can go through.
So because it's 48 teams, some of the third teams are not all.
Eight of them go straight third. The eighth third going to go through.
We need a whole show on all of the new rules and regulations.
To
explain to all of us, let's be honest. All right, is the group of death a dead concept since the World Cup has expanded and likely will keep expanding in the future?
Yes.
A few being picked out here as a group of death. You could mention even Group C, obviously being difficult, but Group I is obviously really standing out right now. We wait to find out who joins France, Senegal and Norway, but that has been touted.
Yeah, it can be the
right
group
now.
of death, but explaining I'm going to say what I just explained. You know, the three teams can go through that group stage. That's the prime is the one who's going to finish the third in that group is going to play against the first of another group. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky for that team. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not really scared about France finishing even third and going to the final, because they can play after. They can play, I don't know, Mexico or USA and beat them. So you have to do well, but because you have 48 teams, it doesn't really mean anything for me.
What we didn't tell you, Craig, was during the draw, Frank was like getting it more than most of us. Oh, they can't be drawn against them and this won't happen. He was on the ball today.
He was on a transatlantic flight, so.
No.
Doing his
I had some time. No, because I quickly understood that you had 12 groups, and then that African teams couldn't fight against each other, couldn't play against each other.
Basically, his geography was better than Shaka's.
Yeah, I know my geography. I was a little bit lost when about no, it's not Capo Verde. I don't remember which one. I thought it was close to Africa, and in fact not, but whatever. But otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty good in geography. I love geography.
Yeah.
But the lifelines that these teams are getting now, the jeopardy isn't really there, is it? If there's 8 third-place teams going to go through,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's people going to fall out, of course there are, but you're going to have to be pretty bad not to make it through. So that jeopardy's not there, and it just feels that that's the way we're going anyway. You know, if you look at the qualifiers, there's lifelines for the playoffs. If you look at the European teams, the European Championships and the World Cup. There's lifelines through the Nations League. It just seems that they're throwing the life rafts out now for all these competitions, and that's why we're seeing. Right. By the way, if you think 48's a lot, let me tell you, they'll increase it again.
The problematic.
Can you imagine?
I'm not thinking of the draw coverage if they increase it, and how much you'll love watching that.
During the draw, Kay asked the question, or somebody had the question about who's going to finish and Golden Boot. It doesn't mean anything. You play against Curaçao, for example, you win 10-0, you're a striker, you score 7 goals, you can finish Golden Boot. That's the problem that you're going to end up with.
Now, you guys were working during the draw. You were doing a live show, so you were kind of watching it, but working and talking.
Yeah.
I sat through most of it, but I was getting up and down, making a cup of tea and that. I sat through most of it, and let me tell you, I'm not going to get into the politics or anything like that.
That was boring.
But just let me tell you, they took it to levels of cringe, and I wasn't the only one with this opinion. They took it to levels of cringe that no man and no human has ever seen before. And then when you thought it couldn't get any cringier,
it never goes too far.
It really was. I mean, it really, really was. And everybody in the end was, come on, we're here to know about the football. We want to see the draw. It was. I think the tone of it for me, and I'm being very nice here. The tone of it for me was just all wrong.
But it's true that we talked to some people who were attending there, and they all say Mark Ogden, I think he lost the will of life.
We got there. I mean, we got there in the end with the draw, which we can all talk about. The rest of it,
not for you.
Yeah, that's.
Or many others. For the boys, Arsenal are without Saliba, Mosquera and Gabriel. If they can take 3 points at Aston Villa, would you consider that a statement game? And does that put the rest of the league on notice that Arsenal's B team can compete with pretty much anybody else's A team?
Well, I would imagine Nkapie will play again, and then you're looking at a choice. And by the way, you think about it, Mosquera out, Gabriel out, Saliba out. They could still field a partnership of Nkapie and Calafiori, or Nkapie and Ben White, or Ben White and Calafiori, or Huri and Timber. As a centre-back, with Lewis Skelly coming in, or Ben White can play right-back, Huri and Timber can play right. They can still put it's not their first line back four. They can still put multiple back fours together of good players. And Ben White got some game time against Brentford the other day, and maybe that was with some games coming up in mind because of the injuries. So it would be a statement, but they can still put a back four that I would go, hey, that's still a decent back four. They can still put that out there.
And to Craig's point earlier in the show about this game, if you've got to win these games, you want to win the title. Is this a statement game if they win it? Is this?
Yes, it is, but for me, it's already a statement that I really think that Arsenal will win that competition because that's the other part of the question. Even with a B team, as the Right House singer of Craig Burley is saying, they are better than the others. They are more consistent. But I saw something I didn't expect against Chelsea at 11 against 10, where they couldn't find a solution, didn't win that game. So that's my only question mark. But overall, Arsenal are the best team in the Premier League. They showed consistency where the others, they dropped the consistency. Chelsea, 10 against 11, very good against Arsenal. They go to Ellen Road, nothing. And we saw that so many times. And it happened to Aston Villa, it happened to Manchester City, it happened to Manchester United. So they can't follow. For me, the others, they can't follow. And so it's why it's already given for Arsenal.
Will some national teams suffer because of the possibilities of travelling to different time zones and dealing with the variety of weather?
No, because I think that all boils down to preparation.
Yeah, they're going to be good there. Yeah.
You find out where you are. Now, some federations have got more. What's the word I'm looking for? They've got more money and more ability to do things better and earlier and more lavish and look after the players better. But generally, the most of them, if not all, will be able to prepare, know where they're going, and go and make sure you're there early enough to be as they say over here, acclimated, or we say in the UK, acclimatised.
Acclimatised.
You know, so you got to.
Accommodé en français, in French.
Oh yeah, all very close, right?
So yeah, you know, if you're playing in the East Coast, if you're playing in the West Coast, you got to get out there and get that, you know, 8-9 hour time difference from Europe, maybe a little more.
Nice.
So you get out there early, and you know it's going to be relatively hot, and so yeah, you sort of adjust to that. What you can't, you know, you can't budget for what the weather's going to be like on any given day.
For the time, you really have to adjust whether you play at midday in England or you play at night.
Right.
So it's already a scale of different timing where you have to adjust. And we know that the day before, the coach will train the same time they're going to play. So they really are in the time difference in preparation. For the sleeping and everything is different, but in terms of playing at noon or playing at 8, it's completely different.
Now, we had that in France. It wasn't.
You had a
much.
time difference with Scotland?
No, but I mean, we acclimatised. We went down to stay in a beautiful little place called Saint-Rémy.
Saint-Rémy de Provence.
Saint-Rémy de Provence near Avignon.
Oh,
You know, and we acclimatised with the odd glass of red wine and some.
That's definitely acclimatising.
Oh, that's one of the best area in France. Really, it's beautiful. Yeah, Saint-Rémy de Provence.
That's where we stayed.
Only the best for Craig Burley.
Only the rich confederation,
Scottish,
the rich
yeah.
federation
Aye.
can go there.
They say the Scottish are tight with money.
No, you're not.
There's no expense spared.
Yeah, wow.
Saint-Rémy de Provence.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Frank, last World Cup you had Canada in the semis.
Yes.
This time they are the hosts. Do you think they will make it to the final?
Well, according to the draw, I think it's going to be hard, especially if Turkey. I think Turkey is in that group.
No, this is the one that could be Italy.
Oh, Italy, yes, Italy.
Yeah, Turkey is in the USA group.
So, you know, I'm sorry, if Italy gets qualified, Switzerland...
Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales or
Yeah.
Bosnia.
So, but if Italy wins and get qualified, Switzerland and Italy is going to be the favorite. So I wish to Canada to do the best, but it's going to be complicated. Like it's going to be complicated for the USA and Mexico as well. But it's doable. Yeah, they can go through. Which rank they're going to get after the last 32? That's another story.
Jesse Marsh has done a good job, hasn't he?
Yeah.
An American coach coaching a Canadian side at the World Cup, but yeah, they're a decent side.
No, yeah, they
The
are.
boys were joking with him earlier, though, saying you were right. They're a top seed.
Yeah, you see, the pot one.
Yeah.
Let's not mention the fact it's a host nation. All right, start, bench or drop. Favourite World Cup tradition? The trophy lift, the group draw, or England losing on penalties?
And I know Craig's answer.
Me too.
The trophy lift is fantastic. It's funny that. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that nice picture. But there is one picture with Messi. I think it's the most viewed picture on social network when he lifts the trophy. And I have a friend of mine. She works for the FIFA. And she was on the field when Argentina won, and she was with I don't remember which player who had the trophy. And suddenly, on the other side of the field, that was Messi lifting a trophy. And so that's the fake one.
Oh, it's not even real.
That's not the real one. That's crazy. But that guy has a picture of the World Cup lifting the wrong one. That's insane.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he got that World Cup and the fake one, because when we had it, we had only one, and we had to share. That was insane.
Yeah, yours was the true one. The true, organic, original.
If you show the picture again.
He wants to see himself again.
No. Just to explain, underneath you have the names of the team who won since 1970. Is how you recognize. And that's the real one. But now, because there are more teams, they started to put on the side.
I mean, I get it with the World Cup and all that, lifting the trophy, but the trophy lifts actually annoy me now. I mean, once the game's finished, you know who's won. I mean, I don't have to wait to see somebody lift the Carabao Cup.
But this is this is the trophy lifting football.
Oh, pyrotechnics, there's a Carabao Cup. Oh, let's all go for dinner.
Since it's going to be the AI and you won't see anything.
This is the most iconic trophy lift there is, though.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's been some great ones over the years. I mean, was it my favourite World Cup, 1982.
Yeah.
Dino Zoff, I believe.
That was in Spain, correct?
It was in Spain.
In Spain.
Dino Zoff, the Italian goalkeeper, lifting it for Italy. Just iconic.
It's what I thought when I got the World Cup, and I say, can you imagine that Pelé, Franz Beckenbauer, Diego Maradona, Dino Zoff, and so many others, they got that in their hands. And that if you're not a winner, or if you're not a president of a democracy, you cannot touch the World Cup. They are bodyguards, and if you two cannot touch the World Cup.
Oh, so the one that they brought recently to an event I was at with security, that was just a fake?
If you touch it, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, I did something for Louis Vuitton, and a model, a very famous model was there, and they were say, you have to put your hands on Frank, you cannot touch the trophy. And they were checking that, and suddenly I pretended that I slipped my hand, and she was like that. They said, oh my God, what can we do? And she was so happy. I said, Frank, thank you. You're my hero. I can touch I was able to touch the World Cup. But that's what it is. That's what it means for me. It's very special, and I was very fortunate to have very good teammates to win the World Cup. And you think about legends who are lifting that trophy.
Yeah, and as you
Oh
mentioned,
God, let's pack up.
yeah, we will.
Yeah, let's
Always
go
wrapped
home.
in a French designer, Louis Vuitton, so the French are always there anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. It's been a long day for some of us. Some of us just
The
came
two
at
of
the
us.
second half of the day.
Some of us, come on. I got brought on at half time.
Yeah, but you are the one who earns more money than anybody else. So.
I'm not sure about that.
So you're going to stay for Football Americas tonight? There's another show yet?
No.
Oh, we'll end it there then, shall we? Thank you so much for being with us. Be back tomorrow as we look back on all the weekend's games on ESPN FC.